and more results on matrices. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, this is second day. Yesterday it was only a revision on topics. Properties of determinants. First property we have seen. What was that? I call it even interchanging between the rows and columns. Interchanging between the rows and columns. The value of the determinant remains unchanged. We have seen yesterday. For that, we will make a notation because whenever we are going to make this operation, make an interchange of rows and columns, we make a notation Ri interchange with Ci. We can write Ci interchange with Ri also, both are same. What is the effect? If you do this operation on any determinant, no change in the value of the determinant. So if A is any square matrix, and now I'm talking about matrix, and A dash is transpose. What we have seen now is determinant of A dash and the determinant of A are equal. This is the determinant, not modulus. Determinant of A dash and determinant of A are equal. Correct? Proof we have seen yesterday, how determinant A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3. We expand through R1, A1 into B2, C3 minus B3, C2. You know how to evaluate. Now let me do interchange Ri with the Ci. That means rows and columns interchanged. First row become first column, second row become second column, third row become third column. So A1, B1, C1. First row here it is A1, B1, C1 first column. Now if we evaluate this determinant, I can evaluate a determinant through any row or any column. I prefer to do it by column here. You can see you are getting the same value. And we have seen earlier, you evaluate using any row or any column, the value is not going to change. So here what we are going to observe is that determinant of D, determinant D and determinant E. E is obtained by interchanging the rows and columns of D, and these two values are same. So the first property is that interchanging between rows and columns, the value of the determinant remains unchanged. So due to that, what happens? Any result that is applicable with the rows of a determinant is equally applicable with the columns, and vice versa. We have seen it yesterday. That is due to that property. Now property 2, carefully attended, very modern property. Interchanging between two rows. In what happens in one, we were interchanging between rows and column. Here, interchanging between two rows, we may interchange R1 and R2, or R2 and R3, or R1 and R3, or between two columns. Because whatever I am going to state with rows are equally applicable with columns. So if you interchange between two columns, then the value of the determinant changes to its negative. Very important. The value of the determinant changes to its negative. For this notation, I can say Ri interchange with Rj. That means ith row and jth row are interchanged. Or Ci interchange with Cj. Cth column and jth column are, ith column and jth column are interchanged. What is the effect? The value of the determinant is changed to its negative. Well, proof I can list very fast. Suppose I have a determinant, you know the value, expanding through R1, A1 into B2, C3 minus dot below. Now, I am going to do the operation. R2 interchange with R3. Second row and third row I interchange. What happens? A1, B1, C1 as it is. A3, B3, C3 will be the second row, and A2, B2, C2 goes to third row. Now let me expand again. This will be A1 into B3, C2 minus B2, C3. Could you observe this is the negative of the first term in the previous one? If I call this E and if I call the other one as D, this is the negative of what I observed earlier. And it will be continuing. This is A1 into B2C3 minus B3C2. This is A1 into the negative of that. B3C2 minus B2C3. A1 into B3C2 minus B2C3. Further, minus B1 into, next time again, B1 into A3C2 minus A2C3. Here it is A2C3 minus A3C2. That's negative of that. Ultimately, you are getting this is minus B. We can easily observe, you expand through any row or any column, we can observe it, but this is just easy to observe. That is what I have taken up with R1 itself. So, second property is interchanging between two rows, the value of the determinant is changed to its negative. Or interchanging between two columns, value of the determinant is changed to its negative. Third property, if two rows or columns of a determinant are identical, see, you can easily guess. Suppose you interchange two rows, value becomes negative. But suppose both the rows are identical, value cannot change, but it has to become negative. These both combine together. That means the value of the determinant will be 0. Simple logic. If we interchange between two rows, value has to go to negative. But if both the rows are identical, interchanging them, value cannot change because they are same thing. But value has to go to its negative. So it is 0. Very important property. Or if you have two columns identical, if you have two columns identical of a determinant, the value of the determinant is obviously 0. Okay? Notation I can say R1, instead of writing equal, I am using that congruent to Ri, congruent to Rj. You can write equal also, I don't mind. Or Ci, congruent to Cj. First element is same as first element there, second element is same as second element there. So instead of writing equal, I use that something equality only. Alright, R1 is same as Ri is same as Rj, Ci is same as Cj. What is the effect? The determinant, value of the determinant is 0. Now to prove this, instead of using that logic, I can take a determinant with two rows identical. I have taken up a determinant here A2, B2, C2. A2, B2, C2, the second row and third row are identical. R2 and R3 are identical. What happens if evaluate? Let me evaluate through R1. This is A1 into B2 C2 minus B2 C2. Oh, that is 0. Minus B1 into again 0. Plus C1 into again 0. And you can easily observe here, even if we evaluate using any row or any column, the value is going to be 0. So what is the property? If you have any two rows identical of a determinant, keep in mind, any two rows identical for a determinant, its value is 0. We are going to encounter that many times. Right now, let me keep examples today, we'll discuss it later. Or if you have any two columns identical, the value of the determinant is going to be 0. I'll take up example also on the way. Let me complete the properties now. P4. P4 is that if all the elements of any row or any column of a determinant are multiplied by a constant, I am multiplying one row, elements of one row of a determinant. What happens? The value of the determinant is multiplied by the number k. Remember, this is not valid for matrix. Matrix, if you are multiplying a matrix by a constant, I have to multiply each and every element of the matrix. But here, if I multiply with one row, that means that is as good as multiplying with the determinant. Right? I can have a notation here. Ri becomes KRI. That means the ith row is multiplied by K, or Ci becomes KCI. What is the effect? The value of the determinant is multiplied by the number K. Ri changes to KRI or Ci changes to KCI. The value of the determinant is multiplied by the number K. And the C book is very simple. Suppose I have a determinant. Can tell me the value A1 into B2C3 minus B1 into A1 into B2C3 minus B3C2 minus B1 into, and so on we can evaluate. Now what I'm going to do is that the first row, let me multiply with K. What I'm going to show is that by this operation, the value of the determinant itself is multiplied by the number k. So we get a new determinant. E is equal to Ka1, Kb1, Kc1. All the rest of the elements as it is. I multiplied only the first row. What I am going to show is that the new determinant E is K times B. You can easily observe it. Expand through R1. Ka1 into B2C3 minus B3C2 minus Kb1 into A2C3 minus A3C2 plus Kc1 into A2B3 minus B3B2. And you take K out. If you take K out, what I am going to get is nothing but, from the previous step, that's nothing but D. So, multiplying one row by K, you are getting D, K into D. If you multiply second row with K again, it becomes K squared into D. If you multiply with K cube, multiply third row with K again, it becomes K cube. That means, if you have a matrix 3 by 3, in a matrix, if I multiply with the 2, that is, I am multiplying each row with 2. If I matrix, if I am multiplying with 2, I am multiplying each row with 2. That means if we take the determinant, you can see that it will be multiplied with 2 3 times. That means 2 into 2 into 2. We will take up examples and that as a result. If all the elements of any one row or column of a determinant are zeros, then that is obvious, the value of the determinant is 0. All the elements of any one row or any one column of determinant are zeros, the value of the determinant is obviously 0. Now, if there is a common factor for any one row or any one column, that will be a common factor for the determinant, right? That can be taken out if you want, because multiplying or dividing one row is as good as multiplying or dividing the whole determinant. So if you have a common factor for one row, it comes out as a common factor for the determinant. That is not true for a matrix. Okay? For example, without expanding the determinant, show that the following determinant D is divisible by 10. I have to show, not by expanding. By expanding, you are going to get it. I am having a determinant D is equal to 4, 3, 35, 2, 7, 15, 6, 1, 25. What I can do is that I can easily observe that in the first column, there is a 2 common. I can take it out. The 2 will come out. On the third column, there is a 5 common. That will again come out as a common factor. So taking 2 out from the first column and 5 out from the third column. So if I take 2 out, what I get? Remaining will be 2, 1, 3. The rest element as it is. Again I take 5 out from the, you can do it together also. I take 5 out from the third column. What I get here is the other elements as it is 2, 1, 3. 2, 1, 3, sorry. 2, 1, 3, 3, 7, 1 and 7, 3, 5. So here you have 10, which is a multiple of 10. Be careful about this is not 6, this is 3. 1. Some error here or there. This is 3. So, right here. So, which is a multiple of 3? This is a multiple of 10 because 10 is already out. How did I get 10? I took 2 out from the first column. It comes out as a common factor for the determinant. I took 5 out from the second third column. It comes as a common factor for the determinant. And hence I have 2 into 3. Once I take 2 out, so 2 into. Further I take 3 out, 5 out, so 2 into 5, that is 10. So whatever this determinant is expanded, it becomes a number, in fact integer. Number means, here it becomes an integer, there is no fraction anywhere. So it becomes an integer, 10 into an integer, it is a multiple of 10. Property 5. We will revise the property once again, don't worry. If all the elements of any 2 rows or any 2 columns of a determinant are proportional, not necessarily equal, proportional, the value of the determinant is 0. What happens if they are proportional? I can multiply with a constant or divide with a constant and I can make them same. That means the 2 rows or 2 columns becomes identical and hence the value is 0. Simple notation is if Ri similar to or proportional to is only just our usage. Ri similar to or proportional to Rj, or Ci proportional to or similar to or proportional to Cj, and the value of the determinant is 0. Proof is not necessary here for us. P6. Very modern, very modern. A determinant can be split into two determinants by, see, if you want to split a matrix, I have to split all the elements, because when I add two matrices, I have to add all the corresponding elements. But in determinant, we can split by splitting any one row or any one column. Don't go away, I will explain later. A determinant can be split into two determinants by splitting any one row or any one column. See, let us see, I have a determinant. The first row I have written in such a way that I can split. The remaining as it is. This I can write as sum of two determinants, in which the first row is as from here A1, B1, C1, and here X1, Y1, Z1, and all the rest are same. This is not a unique way. I can split in infinitely many ways by splitting any one row at a time. Further, if you want to split this determinant, we can further split again. How? I can split any one row from here or any one column or row from here. I can split this again into two determinants by splitting any one row. Here also I can split. If I split one row, this row is splitted, then the rest of the two rows will be as it is. Or if I split one column, the rest of the two columns will be as it is. We'll take up examples on that. Proof is very simple. Suppose I have a determinant. If you evaluate what you get, A1 plus X1 into B2 C3 minus B3 C2 minus B1 plus Y1 into, and so on. Now I am going to expand this. A1 into this minus B1 into this plus C1 plus X1 into this minus Y1 into this plus Z1 into, and this I have two determinants. One is A1 into this, etc. is one determinant, and plus X1 into etc. is second determinant. So one determinant is equal to sum of two determinants, and that is obtained by splitting only one row. Here I splitted the first row. It is not a unique expression as I told. You can split one row in any number of ways, or any one column, any number of ways you can split, and the whole determinant will be split into two by keeping the remaining elements as it is. We'll go for the last property and most important, widely applied property and very important. Remember, understand the property very clearly. Adding a constant multiple of any one row or of course column. What are we doing? Actually, it is something like what we have done in the elementary operation. Adding a constant multiple of any one row to the corresponding elements of another row. Remember, another row. If it is column to another column, adding a constant multiple of any one column to corresponding elements of any other column, or constant multiple of any one row is added to corresponding elements of another column, another row, sorry. Row with row, column with column. No change is possible here. The value of the determinant remains unchanged. Very important. If I add double of one row to another one, or if I simply add one row to another one row is actually one multiple. Or if I subtract one row from other, subtracting a row means I multiply with -1 and add. So here you are permitted to make addition of one row to another, or addition of one column to another. You can subtract one row from other, you can subtract one column from other without changing the value. This will help you in evaluating the determinant in many cases. Big numbers you can reduce into small numbers by subtracting one row from other, and eventually you can easily evaluate it. This notation is, we have seen this in the elementary operation. Ri changed to Ri plus Krj. That means Krj is added to Ri. Only Ri is changed, Rj is not changed, only Ri is changed. Similarly, Ci becomes Ci plus Kcj. K multiple of Cj is added to Ci. Cj is not changed, only Ci changed. And what is the effect? No change in the value of the determinant. This will not change the value of the determinant. Let us see a simple proof for this. Let me have a determinant whose value we know. And I am going to add KR2 to R1. This notation R1 changes to R1 plus KR2 means R1 changes to R1 plus KR2 means KR2 is added to R1. R2 is not changed. R2 is not changed. R1 is A1 plus KA2, B1 plus KB2, C1 plus KC2. The rest as it is. Now, by using the previous property, I am splitting this into two determinants. One is A1, B1, C1 are the first row, and the other one is KA2, KB2, KC2 are the second row. Now, A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3 is as good as the given determinant. This is the given determinant, okay? Whereas, this is the given determinant itself. Whereas this determinant, can some of you tell me the value of this determinant? Interesting time. Can some of you tell me the value of this determinant?
The 0.
0, obviously. Tell me the reason. You are right.
Sir, because two rows are same.
Proportional. Two rows are proportional. Or if you want to make same possible, take K out. K into A2, B2, C2, A2, B2, C2. Then they are identical. Here we can say two rows are proportional. So I am simply write K D plus K into 0 because R1 and R2 are proportional. R1 and R2 in second row are proportional. If you want to make equal, K take out here itself, K into determinant, then it is 0. So ultimately it is D. That means this is a very important operation which does not change any value, any change in the value of the determinant. Now, say for example, D is equal to this. What is the value? 2 into 8 minus 0 minus 3 into 6 to 12 plus 7 minus 5 into 0 plus 4. What is the value? That is equal to minus 61. Let me do the operation. R1 changes to R1 plus 2 R3. R1 changes to R1 plus 2 R3. Twice R3. Which is R3? R3 is, this is R3. Twice R3 I am adding to R1. What will I get as a first row? Twice R3, that means multiply, twice this R3 is added to R1. What will I get? First row will be 0, 3, 2 to the 4 added, minus 1. Are you getting this? 0, 3 minus 1. How 0, 3 minus 1? Twice R3. Twice R3, the elements are minus 2, 0, 4. Added to R1. So minus 2 added there, 0. 0 is added 0. 2 to the 4 is added minus 1. And you have 6, 4, 7 as to the remaining element as. We can evaluate this. Instead of evaluate, if you evaluate this, what will you get? 0 into something 0. Minus 3 into 12 plus 7. Minus, plus actually plus, minus 1 into. And you are getting same value. So this operation you can do any number of times with column or row with no restriction. You do one row, you can again do next time, you can do column also. It is not like the elementary transformation, you start with the row transformation, don't change to column transformation. No, here do a row operation. Next time if you want to do say C2 change to C2 plus 3C1 or 3C2, 3C3, I can make this element 0. Possible. And then you can evaluate any time and the value will be same. So I'll just go through the property once again, but you revise the properties. I'm just giving some examples here. Value is not changed here. So what is to be done here? Without expanding, evaluate the determinant. Also state reason for your answer. How do you evaluate? How do you evaluate without expanding? You are not asked to expand this. Let me give a hint here. The first one, 3, 4, 1, 5 is 7. How do you evaluate without expanding? Let me, for convenience, let me make this 6. It's not 9, 6. Understand? This is 6. This is 6 means if you add the operation, C1 changes to C1 plus C2. C1 changes to C1 plus C2. What will I get? 3 plus 4, 7. 1 plus 5, 6. 3 plus 4, 7. Here again you have 7, 6, 7. Two columns identical and the value is 0. Correct? The same way you have to put your mind. That was a small printing error. No error for that.
The two rows are also common. T47, T47.
Which one?
R1 and R3.
I didn't get the question. Your question is not clear to me.
Sir is telling that in first one,
Ah.
the first row and the third row are also equal.
Oh, sorry. That is true. Okay, so even without changing the 6, you observed well. Fine. 3, 4, 7, 3, 4. That's fine. That's obviously 0. No need of any operation. Okay, that's fine. So you can keep that mind itself. I was just overlooking that. Okay, now you find you are doing well now. Better than me. Now see E and F, you have to evaluate. And you can hint the answer will be 0. But how you are getting 0? But not by evaluating. You wonderfully observed 3, 4, 7. The first row and third row are identical. Simply state the reason and tell that it is 0. Okay? And here in the 8th one, without expanding, show that this determinant is divisible by 6. Can you observe that you can take 3 out from the first column, 2 out from the second column, you get 6 common. Similarly, last one is divisible by 75. How do you say divisible by 75? You have to say it is divisible by 5, then 5 taken out, then you can take 3 out from the third row. I gave the complete hint. Okay, we are getting out of time. Thank you for joining me. We will meet back tomorrow. I will share the question. Do it. Wonderful. Okay? But don't miss out. Don't miss out. Then if you can do